It started quietly, not with sirens, not with a public fight, not with some dramatic moment that everyone can point to and say, "That's when everything changed." No, it started in a much more invisible way, in the background, in conversations that were never meant for you to hear, in group chats where your name came up between jokes, half-truths, and carefully shaped stories, in small comments that sounded harmless on the surface, but carried something heavier underneath. And the strange part, you felt it before you could explain it. That uncomfortable pause when someone's tone changes the moment you enter the room. That slight shift in energy when people laugh a little too quickly after saying something about you. That feeling that you're always being watched, even when nobody is saying anything directly. And for a long time, you ignored it. You told yourself, maybe you were overthinking. Maybe people are just complicated. Maybe you're being too sensitive, because that's what happens when toxic behavior is subtle. It trains you to doubt your own perception instead of questioning the environment. And that's exactly where everything begins. But something changed. Not all at once. Not in a single moment. It started when someone finally spoke. Not just spoke, but defended you, loudly, without hesitation, without trying to balance both sides, without sugarcoating what they saw, and that changed the entire atmosphere. Because once someone breaks the silence, others realize they were never the only ones noticing. They were just the only ones staying quiet. And silence is powerful until it breaks. Now here's where things get uncomfortable for the people who were used to control. Because when someone is defended publicly, something unexpected happens behind the scenes. The narrative they carefully maintained for so long starts shaking. Not because someone is attacking them, but because people are finally replaying moments in their minds that they once ignored. That one comment that felt off. That one situation that didn't sit right. That one pattern that kept repeating, but was always dismissed as coincidence. And now, those memories are no longer silent. They are connecting. And when memories connect, patterns become visible. And once patterns become visible, they can no longer be controlled. That's the moment everything begins to shift. Because toxic behavior depends on invisibility. It survives in places where nobody questions it too deeply, where everything is explained away, where the victim is told to understand instead of being understood. But the moment light enters that space, everything changes. And right now, light is entering. People are talking. People are comparing experiences. People are realizing they were reacting to the same pattern, just from different angles. And suddenly, it's no longer your imagination. It's shared reality. But here's the deeper layer that most people don't talk about. When people start defending you loudly, it's not just about you anymore. It becomes about everything you went through silently. Every time you swallowed your words to avoid conflict. Every time you laughed off something that actually hurt you. Every time you stayed quiet just to keep peace, even when peace was never being returned to you. And now, all of that silence is being reinterpreted. People are looking back and thinking, why didn't we see it sooner? And that question alone is powerful enough to change entire dynamics. Because regret always follows awareness. But awareness doesn't arrive gently in situations like this. It arrives like a flood. And not everyone is ready for it. Some people will defend you with sincerity. Some will defend you because they finally feel safe to speak. Some will defend you because they always knew something was wrong but didn't have the courage to say it out loud. And some will defend you because the truth is now too obvious to ignore. But there's another layer too, because when the truth rises, so does discomfort. The same people who were comfortable controlling the narrative before are now uncomfortable being part of it. And that's where things get tense. Not because anything new happened, but because what was hidden is now visible. And visibility changes everything. Now imagine this unfolding in real time. You're not chasing validation. You're not fighting for attention. You're not even trying to prove your side anymore. But suddenly, people are stepping forward on your behalf. And the story you once struggled to explain is being understood without you forcing it. That's a strange feeling, because for a long time, you were in survival mode, explaining yourself, defending your emotions, trying to make people understand a version of reality they didn't want to see. And now the truth is doing the work for you. But that doesn't mean everything becomes peaceful instantly, because whenever truth rises, resistance rises with it. There will be denial. There will be rewriting of events. There will be selective memory. People will say things like, "I never meant it like that. You misunderstood. That's not what happened." Or the most dangerous one of all, you're remembering it wrong. And that's where confusion used to creep in before, but not anymore, because now there are more voices than just yours. And when multiple people start recognizing the same pattern, denial loses its strength. But let's go deeper, because this isn't just about people defending you. It's about something bigger happening socially and emotionally. It's a shift in perception, a recalibration of how people see behavior that was previously normalized. It's the moment when something that was once dismissed as just personality is now being recognized as a pattern. And patterns don't lie. They repeat. They reveal. They expose. And once exposed, they demand accountability, even if no one explicitly asks for it. Now here's the part that quietly hits the hardest. You realize you didn't need to become louder. You didn't need to become aggressive. You didn't need to fight every battle, because truth, when it's consistent, eventually builds its own momentum. And that momentum brings clarity to people who were previously confused. But clarity is not comfortable for everyone, because clarity forces people to see what they avoided seeing before. And when they finally see it, they have to choose, acknowledge it, or deny it. And both choices come with consequences. But here's something important you need to understand in this moment. Not everyone defending you is doing it for the same reason. Some are healing their own guilt. Some are correcting their own silence. Some are finally trusting what they always felt but never said. And some are simply aligning with what is now obvious. But regardless of motivation, something real is happening. The environment around you is no longer neutral. It is shifting, and in that shift, roles are being redefined. People who once felt powerful in silence are now being questioned in noise. And people who once felt invisible in silence are now being seen clearly. That includes you. And visibility is not small, because when people finally see you clearly, they also start understanding your past differently. Moments that were once ignored are now being reinterpreted. Your reactions that were once labeled too emotional are now being seen as responses to pressure. Your silence that was once misunderstood is now being recognized as endurance. And slowly, the story changes shape. But this is where you need to be careful, because when things start shifting in your favor, the temptation is to react emotionally, to prove a point, to confront everything at once, to finally explain everything properly. But the strongest position you can take right now is not reaction, it's stability. Because truth does not need urgency, it only needs time. And time always exposes what emotion tries to rush. Now think about this clearly. You are not in the same position you were before. Before, you were trying to be understood. Now, understanding is arriving on its own. Before, you were questioning yourself. Now, others are questioning patterns around you. Before, you were isolated in perception. Now, perception is being shared. That shift is not small. It's foundational. And once foundation shifts, everything built on top of it begins to reorganize. But don't mistake this for the end, because whenever truth rises, resistance doesn't disappear immediately. It adapts. Some people will go silent, some will distance themselves, some will try to rewrite history, and some will quietly observe, waiting to see which version of the story survives longer. But here's the reality. Truth doesn't compete. It remains. Now let's bring this back to you. Because through all of this, the most important transformation is not happening outside. It's happening inside. You are no longer the person trying to convince others of your reality. You are becoming someone who trusts it without needing permission. And that is powerful in a way most people don't understand until they experience it. Because when you stop doubting yourself, everything around you loses the ability to destabilize you the same way. Words don't hit the same. Opinions don't control you the same. Misinterpretations don't define you the same. And suddenly, you are no longer reacting from confusion, but you are responding from clarity. That's the real shift. And that's why this moment matters more than it looks on the surface. Because it's not just about people defending you. It's about you no longer needing to be defended to know your truth is valid. And that changes everything. So, as this continues to unfold, remember this. Don't rush to control the outcome. Don't rush to fix the narrative. Don't rush to prove anything to anyone who only started seeing clearly when others spoke first. Let truth do what it naturally does. Reveal, align, separate, and clarify. Because eventually, everything finds its place. And when it does, you'll realize something quietly powerful. You were never too complicated. You were just in an environment that benefited from misunderstanding you. But misunderstanding cannot survive clarity forever. And now, clarity has arrived. If this resonated with you, don't just scroll past it. Comment what line felt the most real. And if you want more deep, emotional, truth-based storytelling like this, subscribe. Because this is only one layer of a much bigger conversation that most people are still not ready to hear.